Big up to everyone, lovely family and lovely friends out there, wherever you are watching this video from. One love to you. The World Cup is getting closer and closer, and 21 days remaining today. So I'm going to talk about the players that we cannot afford to drop them if we really want to do well at the World Cup. And I'm going to share with you something that I noticed in the Black Stars team. We still have weak point, and if we really want to do well, we need to look at that side as well. I'm going to share that with you right here on the Awini Unity platform. This is my personal opinion. So if you also have your personal opinion, you have to go to the comment box and drop your opinion there. Let's respect each other's opinion very nicely and try to help the motherland. So guys, my number one player that we cannot afford to drop going to the World Cup is Jesse Slope. If we really want to do well at the World Cup, the number one player that we cannot afford to drop is Jesse Slope. If you follow the Premier League for this season, it's always on top, playing from the left back and the midfield. But for some time ago, a lot of people came out to say Slope was having problem because of the position that he really want to play. They are not putting him there, but they always want to try him for Crystal Palace. I do not know how true is that, but if you play for Crystal Palace sometime in the left back and come into Black Stars, Jesse Slope as well, you shouldn't say they should put you on the midfield, because you do that on Crystal Palace. You play left back sometimes. So the way you have to help your team as well to win, that is what you have to try your best possible to do. This message is Jesse Slope as well. So Jesse Slope is a player that we cannot afford to drop going to the World Cup. That is my number one. And my number two player that we cannot afford to drop going to the World Cup if we really want to do well, that is my personal opinion, like I said earlier on, is Joseph Pencil. Joseph Pencil is a player that, not that a lot of people think that maybe sometime when we come out talking about some players, maybe we are friends of these players or that is something. These players, most of these players are not our friends. These players are not paying anybody, and they cannot pay anybody. Personally, myself being here, these players cannot pay me, right? So we want the better one for Ghana to do well at the World Cup. So we are coming out always sharing our opinions. Joseph Pencil is doing pretty well for the Belgium League. Even this weekend, he get a great goal, giving 2 assists, playing very well day out, day in. So even going back to the African Cup of Nations, playing against Morocco, defending matches and all that, he was someone that doing pretty well and is a very, very good player. And if we really want to do well, we cannot afford to drop a player like Joseph Pencil. My number 3 player, last and not least, is Anthony Semenyo. Anthony Semenyo is a player that we can never, if we really want to do well, we cannot afford to drop a player like Anthony Semenyo. We shouldn't make our mind make us like a Barcelona getting Robin Lewandowski and thinking that they solve all the problem and leaving Aubameyang, leaving Adama Traore, and at the end of the day, it causing them a lot of problem. Why I'm saying this, Ghana, we shouldn't think that maybe we have Iñaki Williams adding to Jordan Ayew, so that is all. We have strikers now, then we afford to lose player like Anthony Semenyo. We will have the problem like Barcelona facing now. Iñaki Williams alone is not enough to help Ghana for the World Cup. Yes, he's a great player, but having Iñaki Williams, we need someone that we can also rely on, maybe in case something happens. So Anthony Semenyo is a player that we cannot afford to drop going to the World Cup. Okay, so this is the 3 players. We have a great players out there, but these are the 3 players that sometimes is off on, and I do not think this World Cup, if we really want to do well, we have to drop these 3 players. That is my personal opinion, right? Coming to our weak side of the Black Stars, if you notice the starting from there is a 2 weak point, and I noticed from goalkeeping side and the midfield. If you start from the goalkeeping side, Jojo Walcott did very well at the Nigeria game and some games. But getting to the World Cup, sometimes you need a keeper that have experience, a keeper that can talk to the defenders as well, that, hey, this is your position. Do not forget yourself. When it comes to corner, the keeper can able to talk in all that. And this is the problem that a lot of people have with Joseph Pencil. I mean, Jojo Wallacott. Sorry, guys. Jojo Wallacott, I mean. This is the problem a lot of people have. And it is not that the people have problem with him. No, but it's something that when you are doing something and maybe 2-3 people begin to complain about what you are doing, meaning you are doing something wrong, you need to check on yourself. So I think Joseph Wallacott have to check on this side. So we have weak side on our keepers. Even Richard Ofori have the experience, but doing some mistakes when it comes to the South African League and other stuff. So our keeper side are not really a keeper that we can rely on. Like Senegal, they have a keeper like a Mendy. You see? So this is something that we are lacking. But these guys, if you're able to give them confidence and behind them, I believe that they will try to help. If you go to the center back, if you go to the defenders, we do not really have problem on the defenders. We have someone like Mohamed Salisu and Alexander Juku had some knock last week or last 2 weeks, and we are hoping that things will get better. And Alexander Juku, the moment is better, then we don't fear from the back. Daniel Amate have a lot of experience. Guess by that sometimes is a little bit confused and all that. But hey, we cannot take away of the experience and the kind of performance they put out the past matches and all that. So for me, I feel like the defenders, we are fully confident, okay, from the defenders. And coming to the midfield, guys, if you notice, that is my personal opinion, like I keep saying, we have problem on the midfield. Taking Thomas Partey out, what player you can boldly say, well, you can rely on? Baba Idrisu is good, but for me, basically cannot really rely on Baba Idrisu. It's good, but it's not really kind of a strong player that, like maybe even those days like Anthony Annan, boot to boot, and all those players like a Sule, all those players. So that is our main weak point at the moment in Black Stars. The midfield, we do not really have strong player. This player that play on this French league, I forget this guy. A lot of people are always talking about Samed or something like that. If we get this guy, I think it will help as well, because now our main problem is the midfield. We do not really have a good quality midfielder that can able to flow the ball. So if even you have a good strikers and you don't have the good midfielders that can able to make the ball flow, the strikers will always running up and down, not getting the ball, and they cannot get the goals. That is where we are lacking. So we need to really have a very good midfielders going to the World Cup, because we cannot rely on only Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is like a today off, tomorrow on. So we cannot rely on him. And we are praying all the time that he should get fit. He should be fit getting to the World Cup with no injuries. And we can get a player like Samed, or how this guy named play for French League One, to support Thomas Partey so that we can get a great World Cup. Going to the attackers, we have Anyaka William that we can rely on. If you have a good midfielder able to flow the ball, no matter what, missing 2-3 chances is going to put one in. So we have someone like Antoine Semenyo that we cannot afford to drop at the World Cup. Having these young guys, having this German guy, Ranford Yaboa, having this young talent that going to the World Cup, I think we can really do something. And if you ask me, the team that is very dangerous at the World Cup at the moment is Ghana. People may feel like I'm a Ghanaian, that is why I'm saying that no. Ghana team are a team that a lot of people underrate the team. Ghana team is a team that a lot of people do not really have confidence with the team. Ghana team is a team, players that a lot of people do not really know much about all our players. That's what caused Nigeria, because people always base on your previous performance going into the game. But going to the game, a lot of people do not know that it's going to be all different games together, all different players together. So Ghana going to the World Cup is going to surprise a lot of people, because when you are going to a tournament and people underrate you, people think that you are not going to do something, it doesn't put pressure on you too much. It rather help you to make surprise if only you prepare, if only you put your things in order, if only you are ready, you want to do something. So this is something that I noticed when it comes to Black Stars team and the players that we cannot afford to drop. Guys, what do you think about it? If you have some contribution, make sure that you drop your comment so that we can help our motherland. One love.